Thanks for staying with us. This is Firecrackers, wherever you're watching from around the world. We're live from our headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. Well, tonight we discuss Lagos. And that's because there are a number of issues on ground that we need a lot of clarifications. And of course, who better to do this with us than the Commissioner for Information and Strategy here in Lagos, Benga Omotosho. Honorable Commissioner, thank you so much for agreeing to come on the program this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes, well, because there are a number of issues from the Apapa gridlock to the COVID-19 pandemic and all of that. But first things first, we need to commend the administration for handling the COVID-19. I mean, of course, Lagos is the epicenter of the virus here in Nigeria, but great job. I think we have been commended by even international organizations about how the virus or the pandemic was handled. One wonders, we're still in the middle of the pandemic, but I wonder where we are right now. Have we recovered from the pandemic just yet?
Well, even the World Health Organization has said that it will take some time for the world to recover from what I call a major calamity that has befallen humanity. And I feel that in fact, like I said, who said all of the things that we are doing now to prepare ourselves for a fourth wave and all of that, we have to continue to do, because next year we are not sure whether it's going to be a free year for us, a year free of COVID-19. So we have to get prepared. That is why you can see the whole world is stepping up vaccination. And in Lagos too, we are stepping up vaccination and encouraging our citizens and our residents and visitors to get vaccinated so that we can together conquer this pandemic, because experts have said that the only way to fight it now is to get vaccinated, the first and second jabs. And I'm encouraged by the number of people coming up to say they would like to have it, and those who are queuing up there to have it. So as for us, we are not seeing it as a battle that is over. No, it goes on.
There have been reports about corruption at the airports. Some persons do not go through the usual quarantine procedures and all of that. I wonder if you are aware of those allegations. And
yeah, we are aware of social allegations, one of which we dealt with extensively in a press release yesterday. Some people said they came to, they arrived at our airport and then were asked to pay money into a private account. And a newspaper asked me that question last week, and I promised them it was going to be investigated. And we have investigated, and we discovered that yes, it's a stopgap method to ensure that there is no breakdown of the system. That when people come into Nigeria, they find it difficult to make a payment into the federal government portal that has been established for that purpose. And all the accredited agencies, laboratories who have been asked to undo the test, now the individuals working there can say, okay, if you cannot get into that portal, pay into my account. So what we simply did was to go and check whether any of these labs had any problem with money being paid into their accounts, and everything was okay. And then we said, because that particular individual involved in this did not inform Lagos State government, did not inform its agency, even though it's not been established that any wrong has been done, that particular individual has been suspended, and we are looking more into the matter. If we find any case of infraction, we find any case of corruption, I can assure you that it's not going to go unpunished.
All right, Honorable Commissioner, well, thank you so much for agreeing to even interact with the Gaussians. Again, let's put out that number out there so that you can ask the Honorable Commissioner whatever questions you want to engage him on, from the Apapa gridlock to issues of the pandemic and all of that. But let's discuss the population of Lagos for a moment. I do not know where it stands right now. There are reports that we are over 21 or 22 million. Let me even ask you this question. Is the population of Lagos a blessing or a curse? Does it make it more difficult for governance?
Well, it's both ways. It's like a two-edged sword. You use it very well, it clears the grass for you, and you misuse it, it cuts your body. So what is happening about the population of Lagos is that it is exploding. People come into Lagos by the minute without any record, because they believe that Lagos is the land of hope. Lagos is the place where they can get
green pastures and all of that.
Yes, so people come in from all parts of the world into Lagos to come and make their dreams fulfilled. And because of insecurity in some parts of the country, people leave what they've been doing before, maybe farming, trading. They come into Lagos to come and ride bikes, to come and do so many other things that they feel will help them to make ends meet. So for us in Lagos, that is a challenge. And that is why we have said that everybody coming to Lagos, once you know that you are going to spend like 3 months or more than that, have a LASHA card, Lagos State Residence card. If you have that card, it will enable the government to know the number of people who are here, the number of people to cater for, so that if you have something like the pandemic that we are battling just now, you know how to fight it, because that data is very important. But for people to just be coming to Lagos, they are unaccounted for, no home address, no nothing, it's very, very difficult for us.
So is it an offense if you're not registered? Are there penalties for that?
There are no penalties, and registration is free. But many people, when it all started, they thought it was an attempt by the government to be able to collect tax from them. But it's nothing about taxation at all. It has nothing to do with that. And that is why very soon we are going to be relaunching the LASHA card. And Mr. Baide Sanwo-Olu, the governor himself, is going to lead the battle for us to see the benefits of the card, for us to see that with this card we can cater more for more people. With this card we can plan ahead, we can project into what is going to happen. Yes. So the population, like you have said, is a very big problem. It puts Lagos, the smallest state in the country, yet it's home to millions of people who are the highest number.
I wonder what the stat says right now. Are we close to 22 million or over 22 million? I wonder what figures you're getting.
I think Lagos is far more than 22 million. Far more than 22 million.
Let's discuss insecurity. We'll come back and discuss traffic as regards population. But insecurity, very recent times there have been some major kidnappings. The Lekki area, the Ajah area. I wonder what exactly the government is doing to curb this, not to mention traffic, robbery and all of that.
Yeah, a lot. The government is doing a lot. You know, security is not something you come on here and begin to talk about what you are doing, because you are fighting something that is against the society. You are fighting a trend that you would not want to encourage to continue. And if you talk about traffic robbery, it used to be very common, but nowadays it's not as common as it used to be. There are isolated cases here and there. I'm talking about kidnapping too. We've had some cases, but
because
all of the cases,
a while ago, reports surfaced online where even Mr. Governor was able to identify traffic robbers. I mean, just I think about 2 months ago or so.
It's not a while ago. That's a couple of months ago. Oh. Yeah, he saw them, and in actual fact, he came down.
So if the governor could at least even see one or experience one, so to say, I wonder if you think those cases could be referred to as isolated cases.
That's what I'm saying. Since that time, we are talking about 3-4 months ago. Since that time, such incidents are no longer as reported as they used to be, because the police have been. You will notice that the president himself came here to join Mr. Governor to give the police and other security agencies some equipment for them to be able to fight crime. And among such equipments, we had about 100 bikes, and these bikes are to help the police and other security agencies to be able to be more mobile, to be able to move faster than they used to be. Right. And they've been able to fight this particular aspect of a crime that you are talking about, traffic robbery. They've been able to fight them, and then I do not think, I don't have the report that the thing is increasing. When I asked the Commissioner of Police what is going on in that area, he tells me it's going down. And every week, the governor receives a report. And we are copied in the Ministry of Information. And the report is that it's going down.
And the kidnappings, we
The
understand
kidnapping you are talking about.
The kidnappers made use of the waterways. I don't know how safe they are right now.
The waterways are very safe. Because if you look at it, you see what the government is doing on the waterways. We have, before we used to have like 14 ferries running the waterways. Now we have 21 running the waterways, and then it means more Lagosians are using the waterways. If it's not safe, they will not be using that. The isolated cases of about 2-3 kidnappings that we had, one that had to do with the waterways, the police moved in there and they were able to rescue the victim. And there was another case that was very well reported to. The police moved in there, they rescued the victim. In a gun duel, 2 of the kidnappers died, and the third one was arrested. So I think these isolated cases, they are being tackled as they come up. But when you look at what is going on in other places, Lagos has really scored very high marks in the area of security.
Yes, so let's go back to the issue of traffic. Because of how populated we are, I don't know if I would say we are overpopulated just yet, but because of the population, I mean, it does appear that traffic is inevitable here in Lagos. Is that the case?
Yeah, it's not just because of the population that you have a traffic slowdown or gridlock once in a while. We have done a lot in the area of freeing traffic in the area of transportation. Very close to your station here, you have the Allen Avenue junction. It does seem it wasn't like this before.
Yeah.
Now it's part of our junction improvement project that we have done in first and second roundabout in Nigeria, that we have done in Allen Avenue here, that we have done in Ikotun. So all these places, traffic is moving better than it used to move. And if you look at all of the traffic lights that were destroyed in some parts of Lagos during the last NSAS protest, they've been fixed. And all of these have helped traffic to move better. And then if you look at all the roads that we are doing to, even though that one too is, look at it 2 ways. It has been able to slow down traffic in some areas, such as Ojota, such as Bariga, such as Lagos-Badagry Expressway. But then, once these roads are finished, you see that traffic will move better there. So it's not the question of a population that is slowing down traffic. Road construction, fine, and then people not being patient too. There are still people who...
I mean, Lagosians were always in a hurry.
Who would like to disobey the traffic lights, who would like to make nonsense of a traffic rules. There are drivers who want to abandon the bus stop and park on the way. So the human factor is also there.
Honorable Commissioner, while we discuss traffic, Apapa is also a major hotspot. I think I've done 1 or 2 documentaries on Apapa, and one had thought that with the introduction of the call-up system, with the Lagos state governments being very actively involved, probably we should have seen an end to the constant traffic jam or congestion in that area. I wonder if your administration has a solution to the gridlock in Apapa, because the government clears the area, after 1-2 weeks, it goes back to normal.
Thank you very much. It's not that the government is not doing anything about Apapa. First, let me just tell you that Apapa is a human problem. And once you have anything, whether it's call-up system or whatever system that you put in place, once you have that human element there, it's bound to suffer some setback. And that is what has happened about Apapa. But let me tell you, if you go to Apapa today, it's not the way it was 2-3 weeks ago. It's clear now. So if people want to talk about Apapa, I will be happy if they can show me the present, situation of things there. People still carry old videos of about 2-3 months ago about Apapa. It is not so. It is true that there is a road construction that is going on around the Minefield and all of that. That is disturbing traffic. But talking about having access to the port and coming out of the port, it has really reduced, because trailers, they now use the parks that have been provided, and more spaces are still being provided in the parks. And then the call-off system, people who are disturbing it from working, I think
allegations of corruption and compromise and all of that.
That's what I'm saying. They are being checked. Some last month people have been, punished because of Apapa. The police have had to change their men several times because of the gridlock in Apapa. So the problem is being tackled, but it's not something that you can resolve in one day. But all I know is that if you go to Apapa today, it's not the way it used to be 2-3 months ago. Things have really changed in Apapa, and we are not there yet, but we're going to get there.
All right, we'll see if Lagosians agree with this submission of yours. But let's take a breath. And when we come back, we'll begin to take your calls, your messages, as we'll give you that platform to ask the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motosho, live here with us in our studios on whatever questions you want or need clarification on. We're back in just a moment. Please stay with us. You're welcome back. This is Firecrackers. We're live from our studios here in Lagos, Nigeria. And my guest tonight is the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Honorable Benga Omotosho. Thank you so much for making our time to be with us, despite your very busy schedule.
Thank you.
Yes, so it's now time for Lagosians to engage with you. So if you do have your questions now, call and let's hear what your thoughts are. Or you can also do us a text message or via WhatsApp, whatever platform is convenient for you. But if you have to call, ensure that your language is TV friendly, it's for broadcast. You know the rules. Keep it short and simple, and of course just go straight to the points, and then so that we can attend to you as quickly as possible. Earlier on we got some calls. I'm sure we can take some of these calls now as we've opened phone lines for Lagosians to call and ask questions. Honorable Commissioner, well, perhaps because you touched on NSAS, maybe we should delve into that a bit. You said some traffic lights had been fixed and all of that. I know that there was a report that Mr. Governor had ordered the release of some of those who were arrested in the course of the NSAS memorial. But let's take one or two calls and then we'll have you respond to that. Thank you for joining us. You have to move away from your TV set or turn down the volume of your TV set completely. I mean, I should have mentioned that, but you know the rules, don't you? Turn down the volume of your TV set or just move away from your TV set completely so that we can have a smooth conversation tonight. We do not have enough time, but we can make use of the time left on the program. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon. We do not have enough time. All right. The rules are really very simple. When you call us, turn down the volume of your TV set or move away from your TV set completely. We don't want to hear that callback, so we can have a smooth conversation with you on the program. Hello, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. What's your name and your location, please?
My name is Oladimeji Bashiru. I'm calling from Igando.
From Igondo?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts, please.
I want first of all, I greet our visitors. No matter with him, but I want to contribute as a Papa issue. Because I'm a truck driver.
Okay.
So the way I've been more than 30 years, I'm a driver. Master planning on Apapa, right from Apapa to my two is fourth extension. Now it's not used for that again. Now they have placed it for the tank farming. That's number one. Number two is that the load coming from over that landing in Apapa port is too much for Apapa. The APMC, they don't have enough equipment to serve the nation. Sometimes you can stop 2-3 hours before they can pass only one truck. So the job is not fast as before. So then we have we have Onet, we have Worry, we have Instagram. Let them transfer some ship load to that place and a bonnet terminal. Because they will do that.
All right, thank you so much for your thoughts. All right, Honorable Commissioner, maybe perhaps before you respond to the question on Apapa, let's touch on the NSAS protest. Has the Lagos State government recovered from what played out last year, October? And before I engage you on what played out on Wednesday, please.
Well, I'll be factual with you. Lagos State has not recovered for us to be able to recover from all the things that happened last year is going to take some time.
The damages done to facilities, and all of that.
Yeah, so much. The damage that happened on a scale beyond belief, on a scale that was incredible. In fact, I described it at that time in an interview that it was a time that walked into Lagos. Because you look at all of the things that we are proud of in Lagos, all the iconic buildings, the Lagos High Court in Iboshere, the forensic laboratory, Lagos City Hall, port headquarters, and so many other places that were destroyed like that. Government assets, private assets. I mean, it was a destruction that, one could just liken to a war. It was as if the city was bombed. So I think for us to be able to recover from that is going to take some time. But in Lagos, we are not even looking at the physical aspect of such destruction, the brick and mortar of it. No, what we are looking at is people who live together, work together, play together. All of a sudden, all the things that bound us together as Lagosians, all the things that we are proud of, we call ourselves Lagosians. People just, something snapped, and then people came and started burning all the all of the things that joined us together as Lagosians, and we started suspecting each other. We started thinking that who may have done it, did not do it. And I feel that recovering that trust that we had as Lagosians, that lack of spirit of brotherliness, spirit of camaraderie is greater than building all of the things that are even destroyed. So Lagos State government is trying to rebuild that trust. That's
I wonder if that was a major contributory factor to why the government didn't want another protest to hold.
I mean, it's part of it. If you look at all of the things that we lost in terms of assets, human and materials, there is no way any responsible government will say, let there be another violent protest. Lagos State government,
even if it means infringing on the rights of Nigerians.
Yeah, Lagos State government is not against any protest at all. There can be protests at any time, anywhere. What Lagos State government is against is violence. And we said at this time, people, it all started like this last year. It was very simple. It was, the governor even went out, spoke with them twice. The deputy governor spoke with them once. Then the governor carried placard. He waved a flag. He took the complaints of the people protesting to Abuja to meet the president and see what Lagos got back from it. Some people were even saying government was too soft. Some were saying that government allowed the thing to go on and created room for hoodlums to hijack it. But Lagos remains the beacon of democracy, and part of the pillars of democracy is free speech. The governor that I know, Mr. Bayede Sanwo-Olu, will not do anything to disrupt free speech. He's not against protests of any kind.
Yes, even though some persons had thought that maybe the governor should have been at the toll gate on Wednesday to probably show solidarity with those who lost their lives in the killings. Some Nigerians thought probably the governor should have been there. Well, perhaps because we are pressed for time, maybe you can respond to the caller from Apapa who says he has been a truck driver for about 30 years and he has made some complaints. The call will receive why we anticipate more calls.
Well, before I go into that, I quickly touched on the aspect of the governor going to the Lekki toll gate and all of that. I do not think that was necessary, because the question of what happened at the toll gate or what did not happen there is still at the panel. The panel has not said anything about it. But all of the people who
the panel is done with its reports.
Yes, but it has not submitted it to the government, so we don't know what is there. The people who died, who lost their loved ones during that crisis of October last year, the governor has visited so many of them. I remember those 7 policemen who died. He has visited the family members. He has given them money. He has hugged them. He has asked them to just be calm, that all will be well with their kids. They will be able to go to school through scholarship, and he has announced insurance for policemen. And I remember a driver who was killed around Ojo-Elegbatu. Even in the midst of the crisis, the governor went there to see the wife, to comfort them, and then offer them words of comfort and ask them not to give up on our country, Nigeria. So anywhere that anybody is hurt, genuinely so, there is no way the governor will not be there. But that of the toll gate is a matter for the panel to decide, and we won't want to just take the wind out of the panel's sail by going to do any other thing. I'm talking about Apapa that this man is talking about, like I have said, is a human problem. Once we remove the human problem, technology will solve it. Government is trying through the Nigeria Ports Authority, collaboration with them, to be able to resolve the problem using technology, the call-up system. But there are issues. Like I said, anything that you have human element, that human element will likely slow down things. And that is what is going on in Apapa. But efforts have been made to resolve the problem. And like I said, if you go back there now, it's not like the way it is 3 months, 2 months ago. The parks are working, and more parks are being created to accommodate the trucks. But like I said too, on the part of truck drivers too, that's apart from the road construction that is going on and slowing down things. You still have some of these trucks that are 40 years old, 50 years old being put on the road. They just get stuck there, and once a truck is stuck, it takes hours and hours for it to be removed. So this is part of the human element that we should try to correct, and not put all the blame on the government. We too, we should share part of the blame.
All right, so while we expect more calls, we have seen a number of calls, but we didn't want to disrupt the flow of our commissioner. Hopefully we can take those calls now, and text messages. We have less than 15 minutes, so we can do us your calls now and engage the commissioner for information here in Lagos as fast as possible on the program. Honorable Commissioner, because we have you here, and I don't know when next we'll engage you like this again. On this issue of value-added tax, which I understand the Lagos state government has also joined in the suit. I wonder what the latest update is on this.
Well, the latest, as far as we are concerned in Lagos, is that we have the Federal High Court to join us in the matter as part of the litigants, and the Federal High Court has graciously granted us that request. So we are part of the battle now. We believe that it's a question of fairness, it's a question of justice, it's a question of what is good, it's a question of, give unto Caesar what is Caesar. We feel that Lagos, like you have observed, the Chinese state in the country, and yet harboring the highest number of people in the country. We feel that the VAT generated by Lagos, if there is equity, if there is justice, what we are getting from that VAT should be much more than what we are getting now. Because Lagos is like, but people should not look at it as a party for Lagos. If states are asked to collect VAT, which is what the case in the court is asking the court to determine who is it, the state or the Federal Revenue Service that has the power to collect VAT. So if states are asked to collect VAT, and Lagos is given that right to do that, it's going to be better for all Nigerian states. It's like a mini Nigeria. It's like you have everybody everywhere in Nigeria, in Lagos here.
Yes, let's take this caller because we are pressed for time. Thank you for joining us. Turn down the volume of the TV set and share your thoughts with us, please.
Yeah, this is Richard.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What part of Lagos are you calling from, by the way?
Yeah, this is Richard calling from a cartoon.
All right, go ahead, please.
Mr. Commissioner of Information, I salute you.
I agree to, sir.
Yeah. In regards to the commemorators, we saw what happened that day, and it seems as if the police have not learned their lessons. The jungle. So people, the political are seeing the journalists videoing them, and all those things that were happening in front of the whole world. What can you say about it? Is that the right thing to do?
Right.
Now, if a policeman does not fear the journalists and everybody around, and is still doing what he's doing, so what happens to the people in the bush? What happens to people in the village, people that are not in the camera? What happens? I mean,
All right.
I want to hear your view about it.
Well, my view about it is very simple.
Okay.
The police did not do well. But you will note that the Commissioner of Police apologized on television, on camera, that day 3 times. And then when the governor, Mr. Baide Sanwo-Olu, spoke about the matter, he again directed the Commissioner of Police to tender another public apology, which I believe he has done in a press statement. So it is not, that is why we say 2 wrongs don't make a right. That day, we can express our feelings without allowing the kind of thing that happened on that day to happen. Today, everybody is talking about people who are brutalized at that place. But there is a young man who is a member of Man-O-War who was stabbed in the tummy. Nobody is talking about him at all because that is not on camera. I'm a journalist. I think the basic thing that you can do as a journalist to be fair to all. Nobody is talking about that gentleman today. People are talking about the Uber driver who was maltreated by the police.
Who has now sued the police.
Yes, and that I feel is bad. The police shouldn't have done that at all. It is wrong. And that is why the Commissioner of Police has apologized, and I'm sure the guy has been asked to go and pick his car. I feel the police did not treat him well. But there is this other man too, the one Man-O-War guy.
I was pepper sprayed, Honorable Commissioner. I must also mention I was also pepper sprayed on Wednesday because I was live at the Lekki toll gate, and in the process of trying to cover something which was going on, I was pepper sprayed by the police. I mean, well, hopefully we'll get the Commissioner of Police on board one of these days to also interact with him as well. But let's see if we can also talk to this caller. Thank you for joining us. What's your name and your current location, please?
Hello?
Please go ahead with your thoughts, please. We are really pressed for time.
Hello?
Okay, maybe we should take other callers. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, what's your name and your current location, please?
My name is Aya. I'm calling from Lagos.
All right, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I want to commend the Commissioner of Police for the apology. Unlike the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos said, nobody is talking about the guys who are carrying cutlasses and machetes, claiming to be part of the protesters. I mean, these things are 2 ways. You don't want to test the will of the police. They are also human. Many of them were killed during the protest last year. We are not talking about that. And I think Nigerians, we should avoid sentiments when we are talking about issues like this. And kudos to the Lagos State government for the way they have been handling the matter. Honorable Commissioner, you are doing a good job, and Solway is doing a great job too.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, you have to move away from your TV set, please.
Okay, I'll do that. Okay, how about now?
Better. Go ahead. Your name and your location, please.
Yeah, my name is Soji Badeto. I'm calling from.
Okay, so you're still listening to yourself, so you have to pick on the callers. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
My name is Ola Subi.
All right, go ahead, please.
I'm calling from Manchester.
All right.
Yeah, despite the fact that the Commissioner of Police
there are many companies which do not ask for this skill is programming. So nowadays Python and R are 2 very popular programming languages.
Are being released of them. Please let the Commissioner react. Thank you.
Okay, he's asking if they are.
Well, thank you so much. I'm not here to talk for the police.
Of course,
but I will assure you, the governor gave the directive, and it was explicit, it was clear that everybody who was arrested on that occasion should be released, and he ensured that they were released immediately. And they were released immediately, except for one guy who was found with cutlass some weapons there. That's the only person who was not released.
I'm surprised that the governor can instruct the Commissioner of Police to release those that were arrested? Well, that's a debate for another day, Honorable Commissioner. You are the last caller. Thank you for joining us. What's your name and your location and your question? Please, very quickly.
Yeah, my name is Tochi Badito. I'm calling from Ipaja.
All right. Go ahead, please, yes, and move away from your TV set. Go ahead and move away from your TV set, please.
Okay, no problem. I think that what will happen is that I expect the Revenue Commissioner to come over there and apologize to Nigerians. If at all the government cannot come to the Lekki toll gate on that very day, I expect somebody from the state to come over there and apologize to people that are killed are men. But for him to come over there and say the government has no right to come and apologize, it is very, very wrong. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much for that. Well, gentlemen, we have to end our discussion here or take be the cause. Honorable Commissioner, perhaps he wants to respond. I mean, the Honorable Commissioner for Information is not holding brief for the Commissioner of Police. I hope that I can get the Commissioner of Police.
I did not even say that it was wrong for the governor or any state official to come there and apologize. All I said was that the matter of Lekki toll gate is before a competent panel and that the panel has not said anything specifically about it. So we have to wait for the panel to be able to make its conclusion and submit this report to the state government before the government can know what to do. But for any government official to begin to go there and begin to dramatize it and begin to apologize and all of that, I think it's out of place.
Yes, we are absolutely pressed for time, but in 60 seconds or less, what's your message to Lagosians?
Yeah, my message to Lagosians is that we should continue to maintain the peace that we're experiencing now. That we are the envy of everybody because of the peace and security we have in Lagos. They should continue to support the governor, Mr. Baide Sanwo-Olu, because he has promised us a greater Lagos and he's taking us on that path so that we can get there. So they should do everything to encourage him. Peace is all we are asking for in Lagos. Lagos is home to everybody. It's going to remain a beacon of democracy, a beacon of free speech, a beacon of enterprise. And everybody who is ready to be law-abiding is welcome into Lagos, and all shall be well with all of us.
Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lagos State, Honorable Gbenga Omotoso, thank you so much for stopping by on the program tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hopefully we can do this again because we didn't get enough callers. Some of them are even trying to reach us towards the end of the show. So hopefully we can engage you again subsequently on the program.
Yeah, that would be very nice. No problem.
All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's about the size of our package. We'll be speaking with the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy here in Lagos, Honorable Gbenga Omotoso, on the program this afternoon. Let's do this again next week, Sunday, as we keep discussing issues of national interest. I am Kelly Egiga. Good evening.